Welcome to TE Live. Today we will find out what International House Helsinki is all about and the wide range of services it offers for newcomers in Helsinki, Vantaa and Espoo region. Remember that you can send us questions via chat. Welcome Juho Tuomas Järvikangas, team leader of International House Helsinki.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
International House Helsinki is located in Sörnäinen, Lintulahdenkuja in Helsinki, and it's open every workday from 9 to 4. So what are, for example, some of the authorities and organizations inside IHH?
Yes, we have plenty of services, and our services are divided into pre-arrival support services, authority services and support and guidance services. Within the authority services you can see some of our stakeholders on the screen, for example the Finnish Immigration Services, Digital and Population Data Services Agency and the Finnish tax authorities, for example.
So who is a newcomer on your point of view?
Well, for International House Helsinki, a newcomer is a person who's moving from another country to the Helsinki capital region, meaning Helsinki, Espoo and Vantaa. And it's a person that is moving here due to work, studies, entrepreneurship or their family members.
So anyone basically can visit you?
Yes, we don't usually turn people around. We try to always help everyone who's visiting our service point, and we have the general information and guidance service, and even though that you're not part of this group, we try to always help everyone who's visiting our service center.
Yes. Well, approximately how many people move to Helsinki region every year?
It varies between years, but to somewhat 25,000 people moved to the Helsinki capital region in 2023.
So how many visit International House Helsinki per year?
Last year we had around 4,200 customer interactions every month, so it's altogether we have more than 50,000 people using our services. There's people that are using multiple services, but roughly these are the numbers that what we have.
So International House Helsinki has also Finnish and Swedish language courses. Can you tell me a little bit more about those?
Yes, we have a service called the language courses, and from that system you can actually select courses dependent on your language skills and whether you want to study remotely or in a physical premises. Those are organized by different service providers. So some courses are free of charge, some are reasonably priced, and some are actually rather extensive courses. So the price is a bit higher, but then the actual courses are, how should I put it? There's more offering in those courses.
But some of the courses are free?
Yes, there are some courses that are free of charge as well.
What types of permit services can clients handle at International House?
Yes, for EU nationals the process usually starts as registering as a EU citizen's right of residence, and which is required when an EU national is staying more than 90 days continuously in Finland. And then this applies to EU nationals and non-EU nationals. They can continue to apply personal identity code, home municipality, tax card, social security, and if there's accompanying family members, they can also register themselves as job seekers, so they can be part of the employment services in future. But these are the services that what we offer in our physical premises, and people can complete those, and they can also use the general information and guidance, so learn about the immigration process itself or the services that the cities are offering.
So is the service by appointment, or is it possible to get a translator?
Yes. Our services, registering EU citizens' right of residence, that's with an appointment, and it's also recommended to have an appointment to get the personal identity code and home municipality, but there's some walk-in appointments every day, but it's recommended to have an appointment for that. All the other services are without an appointment, so you can just walk in and use our services. You might have to queue for some time, but it's that happens sometimes. And to having an interpreter in these services, we have it for Kela services and also for the employment services. So the Finnish Social Security and the employment services, and then the general information and guidance, you can have it, but it's an online version, but it's still there. You can get an interpreter in these situations.
So it's possible to ask questions online, or better to come to the office?
It really depends on the personal situation of our customer and what are the questions. We have a chatbot on our website and a chat, so if there's a question that our customer wants to ask, it's maybe the good way is to start asking the chatbot and whether the chatbot can actually answer the questions or in the live chat, or if there's questions that a person would rather ask in person, then it's recommendable to come to our premises. But basically all the information is on our website, but it's still, we are happy to welcome anybody who's coming to our service point to get guidance.
Next, let's watch an interview of Helsinki Info's service advisor Ali.
My name is Ali Maksud. I am working as a service advisor in Helsinki Info in International House of Helsinki. Our workplace is located in Lintulahden kuja, Sörnäinen, Helsinki. I usually start my workday with coffee machine and say hello to my colleagues. After that, I move to the customer's lobby where we have the service point desk, and we will open our services around 9 o'clock in the morning. When you move to Finland or Helsinki, you need to do a first-time registration in DVV agency in order to get an address, temporary or permanent, and also municipality of the city that you will be reside. So that's why you need to do the first-time registration, and I think everyone will find out this when they have the immigration process going on, and after they get the decision, they are guided to do the municipality and the DVV registration. We serve our customers always in Finnish and English languages, and in addition to that, we have a team that speaks over 8 languages. For example, I speak myself Persian, Farsi, or Dari, which is similar language to Farsi as well. And if we can help our customers in other languages, then we can use our skills to solve the customer's problem. It is easy to come here. You can contact us by phone, email, chat, or basically you can just come here and ask for the services that you need. In information services, we also help customers to book their appointments to the correct authority. But also it is possible to book an appointment here in advance for different authority services, which we recommend. Our customers usually ask about DVV agency services, about the first registrations, that how they can do it, how long it will take to be processed, and also about the immigration services. They ask about first-time registration immigration services, about city services, daycare, schools, about jobs, and lots of things that they're asking. And we always try to find the right answer to the customer, and if we don't have the right answer, we guide customers to the correct path that they can find the right authority to get their answers. I recommend every customer, before you come to the International Helsinki, visit our website and learn about our services, that what we have here and what we can offer. And always, if you are willing to go visit some authorities, check their website as well and book your appointment in advance, which will make all the cases and your services much faster, and you don't need to come here and wait for the queue.
Well, Ali told us there is services available with more than 8 languages, so that's quite amazing. International House can provide help also for organizations and employers.
Yes, we have the employer services in addition to the newcomer services, and the employer services are, for example, that you can get help in the whole international recruitment process. So whether you're looking for a person to hire or you're wondering about the right residence permit type, or whether the employee has the right to work with the current permit and things like that. So there's 2 phone lines that are open, and it's possible to call and get your questions answered within our services.
So if a person has a company already in another country and want to expand to Finland, so is it possible to get help with that?
For that, we have a service called the Startup Soft Lending, which is especially for startup entrepreneurs. And there's a criteria for the service that there has to be 2 startup founders moving to Finland. There has to be a sufficient amount of funding, and they have to be experienced startup entrepreneurs. In these cases, we can help them also to get settled in to the Helsinki capital region, and it's also a region-wide service. But in case there's an entrepreneur already in Finland or planning to start a business here, then I would recommend to use, for example, Business Helsinki services and get started from there to see that whether it's what kind of company you should establish and what kind of situation, for example, is in the market for that type of business.
Yes. So are there services for job seekers also?
Yes, at the Physical Service Center we have the employment services, which will transform into Helsinki Employment Services starting from next year, and there our customers can register themselves as job seekers. It's the initial registration that they can do, but that's how to start the process. In addition, we have employment coaching service where you can, for example, see that how your CV is looking, or the cover letter, or you want to have some prep, kind of like prep for the interview. And in that case, we also organize these newcomer information sessions about working life, which you need to do before using the employment coaching service. So there's general information about working life in Finland. And the next session that we are having for the newcomer information session about working life is on the 17th of December. And those we organize at least in every 2 months. And that's a good way to start. And also in the spouse program, we have employment-related services, and we are further developing those. So next year we will hopefully have even more services for job seekers.
So there are services even for the spouses?
Yes, there are. There's for spouses, it's especially the spouse program is a community that organize all kinds of activities together. But then there's also a lot of job-related activities, and there's company cooperation, company visits, and these kind of things. So it's based on the needs what our spouses have said that they would like to have in the service offering.
Sounds good. Well, International House doesn't provide legal advice or medical services.
No, yes, that's the right answer.
Well, next let's look at the chat questions you have sent. Khaled asks, could you please provide more information about the services and support available for newcomers to Finland, especially in terms of visa and residence permit assistance?
Yes. We have, well, I would first recommend to visit our website, ihhelsinki.fi. There you can get the basic information about this. And then you can also join a newcomer information session. We have regular, and then we have the about working life. But the regular one is good to learn about different residence permit types as well. Then in case you have further questions, then you can book an appointment to our relocation guidance service where you will get your questions answered.
Yes. And KM asks, do you offer any guidance on setting up Finnish bank accounts or understanding the Finnish tax system?
Yes, for the tax system we have the tax authorities and you can get tax counseling within our service point. That is the only service in our service point that is open only from 9 to 12 o'clock. But it's a walking service, so if you have the time to come at those times, then it's possible to use the service. The first question was about setting the bank account. So we can't recommend any specific bank as we are a public service provider, but we can tell what is required for the bank account and then to have the strong identification method also within the bank account.
Liina asks, har du service på svenska?
We have services also, the authority services are provided also in Swedish.
In Swedish?
Yes.
Ja. Ja. Alltså, ja, det finns service på svenska också. Then a student asks, are there specific workshops or events at International House Helsinki that help international students or professionals navigate the job market in Finland?
Again, the newcomer information session about working life is a good option for students.
So it's online?
It's online, yes,
Yeah.
and possible to join that as well. And then the employment coaching service can help us in that as well, that you can book an individual appointment for that as well. And next year we will have more services and hope to have more students joining our services and learn about the different employment opportunities, especially after graduation or close to graduation, as well as these customers usually cannot be registered as job seekers when they are full-time students. So we want to offer a service in that case as well, that people would get employed in Finland after their studies or even during their studies when it's possible.
So online or book appointments?
Yes, and the appointments are then in person or online, depends on how our customers want to have those.
Thomas asks, I don't live in Finland, can I join the online courses?
Yes, the newcomer information sessions are open for everyone, and that's the idea. And like I mentioned earlier, that we have the pre-arrival support services that are tailored especially for people that are living abroad. So I highly recommend joining those webinars and then using our services as well in the later stages. So the idea of this is to help to actually move to Finland. We cannot help to find a certain person a job, but we can help kind of like how a person can be more employable, for example. But we don't directly provide any jobs.
Yes. And Said asks, can I come to International House without appointment?
Yes, you can, and there was two services, so the Finnish Immigration Services and Digital and Population Data Services Agency. The first one you need to book an appointment for, the second it's recommended, but all the other services are without an appointment.
Yes, from 9 to 4
9 to 4
weekday.
Yes, and then the one exception that the tax authorities is only from 9 to 12, but otherwise yes.
Okay. And then one last question, MP asks, what specific support and services does International House Helsinki offer to employers looking to hire and integrate international talent into their workforce?
Within our employer services, there's also help within for the settling in process as well. So that's a good way to start to see that what kind of possibilities there are for employers. And previously there was, for example, that we offered guidance on employers how they can start having language courses within their company that is tailor-made for these positions that the people are actually working in.
Yes.
And one thing that I could also mention, what we are planning to have is a friend program as well. So we are planning to launch it still within this month, that international newcomers who have moved to Finland could actually make friends with the program. So it doesn't necessarily directly help the company, but it helps the person as well, that there's a chance to make local friends as well.
Yeah, networking. And
yes, networking and having free time activities.
Yes. So thank you for the questions. We can continue a little bit later also after the broadcast if you have any more questions. So Juha Tuomas, any last words for the watchers today?
We at the International House Helsinki are happy to help anybody who's moving to the Helsinki capital region due to work studies or entrepreneurships. And you can send us a message and visit our website at ihhelsinki.fi.
Well, thank you, Juha Tuomas, for being here today. It's clear that International House Helsinki is a very important place and to get information and support as a newcomer and also to feel welcome when arriving to Finland. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you can see the address and contact info to International House on the screen after this broadcast. And remember to watch TE Live also tomorrow at 10 a.m. We are talking about TE services for municipalities. So see you next time.